Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let the weight of this day begin to fall away from your shoulders. You've carried enough. You've worried enough. You've tried hard enough. And now, in this quiet moment, it's time to rest. Tonight, I want to take you on a gentle journey through the ancient wisdom of Proverbs, not to challenge you, not to burden you with more tasks or demands, but simply to let these timeless words wash over you like a gentle stream, bringing peace to your restless mind and calm to your weary heart. So settle in, get comfortable, let your body sink into whatever surface is supporting you, and allow yourself to simply be here, breathing slowly, as we walk together through wisdom that has brought comfort to countless souls for thousands of years. The book of Proverbs is unlike any other book in Scripture. It's not demanding, it's not urgent, it's simply wise. These are words written by people who watched life carefully, who noticed patterns, who understood the rhythms of human existence. And they wrote down what they learned, not to scold us, but to guide us gently toward a better way of living. Tonight, we're not going to rush through these verses. We're going to let them settle into our consciousness slowly, like snowflakes falling on a quiet winter night. Each one unique, each one beautiful, each one contributing to a sense of peace and rightness in the world. Let's begin with the very heart of wisdom itself, Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Words that millions have memorized, have clung to in difficult times, have whispered to themselves when the path forward was unclear. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. Just let those words rest in your mind for a moment. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, not with part of your heart. Not with the leftover pieces after you've tried everything else. With all your heart. This is an invitation to release the burden of figuring everything out on your own. How much energy do we spend trying to understand everything, trying to predict every outcome, trying to control every variable? And how exhausting is that? These words from Proverbs offer us a different path. Lean not on your own understanding. This doesn't mean stop thinking. It means stop carrying the weight of having to know everything, control everything, predict everything. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. Notice it doesn't say you have to make your paths straight. That's not your job. Your job is simply to acknowledge Him, to stay connected to the source of all wisdom. And the straightening of the path, the clearing of the way, that happens as a natural result. Breathe that in. Feel the relief of not having to figure it all out tonight, not having to solve every problem before you can rest. The path will be made straight, but not by your anxious striving. By trust, by acknowledgement, by simple connection. Let's move to Proverbs chapter 4, verses 23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Your heart is precious. It's the center of who you are. Not just your emotions, but your deepest self, your truest desires, your core identity. And this proverb reminds us gently that what we allow into that sacred space matters. Think about it like this. Your heart is like a garden, and throughout your day, seeds are constantly being thrown into that garden. Seeds of worry, seeds of comparison, seeds of fear, seeds of anger, seeds of peace, seeds of gratitude, seeds of love. Whatever seeds land in the soil of your heart will eventually grow into the landscape of your life. Guarding your heart doesn't mean building walls or becoming hard. It means being intentional about what you allow to take root there. It means noticing when bitter seeds are being planted and gently removing them before they can grow deep roots. It means choosing, as much as you're able, to plant seeds of peace, of kindness, of faith. As you lie here tonight, imagine your heart as that garden, and imagine that you're gently walking through it, noticing what's growing there. If you find weeds of worry or bitterness, you don't have to fight them. Just acknowledge them, notice them, and know that tomorrow you can begin choosing different seeds. For tonight, just rest in the knowledge that your heart is worth guarding, worth protecting, worth filling with good things. and that this determines the course of your life, not in a harsh, judgmental way, but in a natural, organic way. What grows in the garden eventually becomes the landscape you live in. Let's turn now to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. There's something deeply restful about this verse. It acknowledges that yes, you have work to do. Yes, you have plans. Yes, you have responsibilities and dreams and goals. But it also says that the establishing of those plans, the success or failure of those efforts, isn't something you have to white-knuckle your way through. Commit your work to the Lord. The word commit here means to roll, like rolling a heavy burden off your shoulders and onto someone else's. Imagine taking all your plans, all your efforts, all your striving, and rolling them onto the Lord. Not abandoning them, not becoming passive, but releasing the outcome. Releasing the need to control every detail. Releasing the anxiety about whether it will all work out. And then notice what happens. Your plans will be established, not through your anxious worry, not through your restless nights of problem solving, but through the simple act of committing, of rolling, of releasing. As you prepare for sleep tonight, imagine taking every concern about tomorrow, every worry about your work, every anxiety about your plans, and physically rolling them away from yourself. You might even imagine physically pushing them with your hands, rolling them out of your bed, out of your room, into the hands of the one who can actually do something about them. Your work is to do your best. God's work is to establish the plans. And tonight, you can rest in the space between those two truths. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 24 through 26, speak directly to this moment, to your need for rest. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked, for the Lord will be at your side and will keep your foot from being snared. These words were written for nights exactly like this one. Nights, when your mind wants to replay every conversation. Nights when your body is tired but your thoughts won't stop. Nights when fear whispers about all the things that could go wrong. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. This is spoken as a simple statement of fact, not as something you have to achieve or work toward, just a reality that flows from trust. You lie down, you are not afraid, your sleep is sweet. Why? Because you have no fear of sudden disaster, not because disaster never comes, not because life is always safe and predictable, but because the Lord is at your side. Because even in difficulty, even in challenge, even in the unexpected turns of life, you are not alone. Your foot will not be snared. You will not be trapped by the things you fear. So tonight, as you lie here, you can make a choice. You can rehearse every possible disaster. You can mentally plan for every contingency. Or you can simply rest in this ancient promise. The Lord is at your side. Your sleep can be sweet. Take another deep breath. Feel your body relaxing even more. Notice how your shoulders are dropping, how your jaw is unclenching, how your breathing is slowing. This is what you were made for. Not constant vigilance, not endless worry, but sweet sleep, rest, restoration. Let's move to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 30. Light in a messenger's eyes brings joy to the heart, and good news gives health to the bones. There's something beautiful about this image. Light in a messenger's eyes. Think about what that looks like. Someone whose face brightens when they see you. Someone who brings news that lifts your spirit rather than weighing it down. Good news gives health to the bones. Not just emotional health, not just mental health, but physical health. Health that goes all the way down to the bones, to the deepest structure of your body. This proverb understands something profound. That what happens in our minds and hearts affects our bodies. That joy is not just an emotion but a form of medicine. As you rest tonight, what good news can you bring to your own heart? What light can you allow into your own eyes, even if just in your imagination? Maybe it's remembering a moment from today when something went right. Maybe it's thinking of someone who loves you. Maybe it's simply recognizing that you survived another day, and that's worth celebrating. Let that good news sink down into your bones. Let it bring health to the deepest parts of you. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to solve anything. You just have to receive this good news. You are here. You are breathing. You made it through another day, and that is enough. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22 tells us that a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. This proverb doesn't demand that we be cheerful. It doesn't shame us for having a crushed spirit. It simply observes a truth. Cheerfulness heals. Heaviness hurts. If your spirit feels crushed tonight, that's okay. You don't have to manufacture cheerfulness. You don't have to pretend everything is fine. But you can, perhaps, let go of the heaviness for just these few hours of sleep. You can set down the crushing weight, knowing that if you need to pick it up again tomorrow, it will still be there. But for now, for this night, you can rest. Think of your spirit like a sponge that's been compressed, squeezed, crushed by the weight of life. As you lie here, imagine that pressure being released. Imagine your spirit slowly expanding back to its natural shape, not through effort, not through trying, but simply through the absence of pressure, through rest, through release. A cheerful heart is good medicine. So let's find something, anything, to be quietly cheerful about. Maybe it's the comfort of your bed. Maybe it's the darkness that allows you to close your eyes. Maybe it's the simple fact that you get to stop trying for a while. Whatever it is, let that tiny seed of cheerfulness be your medicine tonight. Now let's turn to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. Imagine a fortified tower, strong walls, solid foundation, unshakable in the storm. This proverb tells us that the name of the Lord, His very presence, His character, His nature, is like that tower. And what do the righteous do? They run to it, not walk casually, not eventually get around to it. They run, because when you know where safety is, you don't hesitate. You don't try to prove you can handle everything on your own first. You run to the place of safety. Tonight, you're running to that tower. You're seeking that safety. And in that tower, you are safe. Not because nothing bad can ever happen, but because in that tower, you are held, you are protected, you are not alone. As you breathe slowly in and out, imagine yourself inside that fortified tower. The storms of life might be raging outside, the winds might be howling. But inside these walls, you are safe. The walls are thick, the foundation is solid, and you can rest here without fear. You don't have to fight the storm tonight. You don't have to figure out how to make it stop. You just have to be in the tower. Be in the place of safety. Be in the presence of the one whose name is a strong tower, and rest. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 23, offers us another beautiful promise. The fear of the Lord leads to life. Then one rests content, untouched by trouble. One rests content. What a beautiful phrase. Not tossing and turning, not anxious and worried, but content, satisfied, at peace. The fear of the Lord doesn't mean being terrified of God. It means having a deep reverence, a profound respect, an awe-filled awareness of how much bigger and wiser and more loving God is than we are. And that fear, that reverence, leads to life, to real life, to full life, to the kind of life where you can actually rest. Then one rests content, untouched by trouble, not because trouble doesn't exist, but because even in the midst of trouble, there's a contentment that comes from knowing you're held by something bigger than yourself. The trouble might be all around, but it doesn't touch your core. It doesn't destroy your peace. Tonight, let yourself rest content. Not because everything in your life is perfect, not because you have no problems, but because you are connected to the source of life itself. And in that connection, there is contentment, there is rest, there is peace that trouble cannot touch. Let's move to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How then can anyone understand their own way? This proverb takes so much pressure off us. It acknowledges something we all know, but hate to admit. We don't fully understand our own way. We can't see the whole picture. We don't know how all the pieces fit together. And that's okay. Because our steps are directed by the Lord. Not our understanding, not our perfect planning, not our flawless execution. Our steps are directed. We just have to take them, one step at a time, without having to understand the entire journey. Think about walking in the dark with a flashlight. You can only see a few feet ahead of you. You can't see where the path ends or all the turns it will take. But you can see the next step, and then the next, and then the next. And somehow, you make it to where you're going, even though you couldn't see the whole way. That's what this proverb is describing. You don't need to understand your whole way. You just need to take the next step, and trust that your steps are being directed by someone who can see what you can't. As you prepare for sleep, release the need to understand everything. Release the pressure to have it all figured out. Your steps are being directed. You just need to rest tonight so you can take tomorrow's steps when the time comes. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7 and 8 say, "Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Do not be wise in your own eyes." Another invitation to release the burden of having to know everything, to stop trusting only in your own wisdom, your own understanding, your own ability to figure things out. Instead, fear the Lord, reverence Him. Acknowledge that His wisdom is greater than yours. And what's the result? Health to your body, nourishment to your bones, physical, tangible benefits from spiritual surrender. It's as if our bodies know when we're carrying burdens we weren't meant to carry. When we're trying to be wise in our own eyes, trying to control everything, trying to understand everything, our bodies respond with tension, with stress, with disease. But when we release that burden, when we acknowledge a wisdom greater than our own, our bodies relax, health flows, nourishment reaches even our bones. Tonight, as you lie here, notice any places in your body where you're still holding tension. Your jaw, your shoulders, your lower back, your hands. And in each of those places, practice not being wise in your own eyes. Practice releasing control. Practice acknowledging that you don't have to figure everything out, and feel the health and nourishment that comes from that release. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 reminds us again. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. It's okay to plan. It's good to think ahead. It's wise to have goals and dreams and intentions. But don't confuse planning with controlling. Don't mistake your plans for certainty. Don't burden yourself with the responsibility of making everything work out exactly as you envision. You plan your course. That's your part. You think, you dream, you set intentions. But the Lord establishes your steps. That's His part. The actual walking out of the journey. The actual unfolding of events. The actual way things come together. That's not something you can control, no matter how perfectly you plan. So plan if you need to, but then release those plans. Hold them loosely. Be willing to adjust. Be open to detours. Trust that your steps are being established by someone who sees the whole picture. And for tonight, you don't need to plan anything. You don't need to figure out tomorrow, or next week, or next year. You just need to rest, to let your body and mind and spirit be restored, so that when tomorrow comes, you'll have the energy to take whatever steps need to be taken. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 5 through 7 speak of wisdom itself. Get wisdom. Get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Wisdom is personified here as someone who protects you, who watches over you. Someone worth pursuing at any cost. And what is wisdom? It's not just information. It's not just intelligence. It's the ability to see life clearly. to understand what really matters, to make choices that lead to life rather than death. And here's what's beautiful. You're pursuing wisdom right now. By choosing to rest. By choosing to listen to ancient words of truth. By choosing to let go of anxiety and embrace peace. These are wise choices. This is what wisdom looks like. Not just working harder or thinking more or stressing more, but knowing when to stop, knowing when to rest, knowing when to simply be still and let yourself be restored. Wisdom will protect you. Not from every difficulty, but from the destruction that comes from never resting, never releasing, never trusting. Wisdom will watch over you as you sleep tonight, will guard your heart and mind, will restore your body. Because wisdom knows that humans need rest, that we were never meant to carry everything all the time. Let's turn to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. A heart at peace, not a heart that has no problems, not a heart that lives in perfect circumstances, but a heart that has found peace in the midst of whatever circumstances exist. That peace gives life to the body. It's not just a nice feeling, it's actually life-giving. It promotes healing. It strengthens your immune system. It allows your body to do what it was designed to do, which is restore and repair itself. Envy, on the other hand, rots the bones. Comparison, jealousy, feeling like everyone else has it better than you. That doesn't just feel bad emotionally, it actually harms you physically. It rots you from the inside out. So tonight, as you rest, practice having a heart at peace. If thoughts of comparison come up, of envy, of feeling less than, just notice them and let them go. They're not serving you. They're not helping you. They're just rotting your bones. Instead, focus on peace, on acceptance, on gratitude for what you have, rather than longing for what you don't. And feel how that peace gives life to your body. Feel how it allows your muscles to relax, your breathing to deepen, your mind to quiet. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 25 says, "Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up." Anxiety weighs down the heart. You know this feeling, don't you? That heavy, oppressive sensation when you're worried about everything. When you're carrying the weight of all your fears and concerns. It literally feels heavy. It weighs you down, but a kind word cheers it up. One kind word, not a whole lecture, not a complete solution to all your problems, just a kind word. That's all it takes to begin lifting that weight. So let me speak a kind word to you right now. You're doing better than you think you are. You're stronger than you feel. You're more loved than you know. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You're allowed to be exactly where you are, exactly as you are, and that's enough. Let that kind word lift some of the weight from your heart. You don't have to carry all the anxiety. You can set it down, at least for tonight, at least while you sleep. The anxiety might try to pick you up again tomorrow, but for now, you can be cheered, you can be lighter, you can be free. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24 offers us another gentle image. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Honeycomb, sweet, nourishing, natural, healing. That's what gracious words are like. Not harsh words, not critical words, not demanding words. Gracious words, kind words, gentle words. And these words are healing to the bones. Again, we see this connection between what happens in our hearts and minds and what happens in our bodies. Good words don't just make us feel better emotionally. They actually promote physical healing. So tonight, what gracious words can you speak to yourself? What sweet words can you let sink into your soul? Maybe, I am enough. Maybe, I did my best today. Maybe, I am loved. Maybe, I can rest now. Let these words be like honey. Sweet, nourishing, healing. Let them sink down into your bones, into the deepest parts of you, and let them do their healing work while you sleep. As we come to a gentle close, let's rest in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 25 and 26 one more time. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked, for the Lord will be at your side and will keep your foot from being snared. Have no fear. The Lord is at your side. Your foot will be kept from the snare. These are not just nice sentiments. These are ancient promises that have held true for thousands of years. For countless people who have closed their eyes in trust and opened them again to new mornings. You are held tonight. You are safe tonight. You are loved tonight. And you can rest deeply, peacefully, completely. Your body knows how to restore itself while you sleep. Your mind knows how to process and integrate while you rest. Your spirit knows how to be renewed in the quiet hours. You don't have to do anything else tonight. You've done enough. You've tried enough. You've worried enough. Now it's time to simply be, to breathe, to rest. To trust that the same wisdom that has guided millions before you is guiding you now. The Lord is at your side. Your sleep will be sweet. And tomorrow morning, you'll wake to new mercies, new strength, new hope. But for now, just rest, just breathe, just let yourself be held by ancient wisdom and eternal love. Sleep well, dear one. You are safe, you are loved, and all is well.